Hello and welcome everyone. One day I was thinking, if I really want to support my son, then I really need to understand ADHD and the science behind ADHD. Because so far I've been supporting him in different ways. In me observing him, trying to see his behavior, analyzing those behaviors, and then work out his triggers and then catch up with his triggers, trying to get ahead of his triggers, removing them so everything can run smoothly. But I'm thinking if I want to continuously supporting my son through his teenage years, through adulthood life, I really need to understand ADHD neuroscience. He's talented, extremely intelligent, he is capable, and also has a completely unique capability. And in order for me to support him through life, I need to understand more. I want to be that person who can cheer for him, who can be there for him, to support him. I know he will struggle maybe as he goes to his teenage year with timeline management, with organization skills, as we are all aware of what ADHD kids, teenage and adults struggle with. And this is where I decided to go for ADHD diploma to become an ADHD coach. And this is where I understood the neuroscience behind it. So what is the science behind ADHD? Let's dive in and let's understand it.
So, what's the science behind it? The front part of the brain behind the forehead handles decision making, attention, and impulse control. In ADHD, this area tends to be quieter and less active, which is why inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactive show up the way they do. There are two key brain chemicals, dopamine and neuropin, carry signals related to motivation, attention, and reward. In ADHD, dopamine usually runs lower, which affect the ability to prioritize tasks. There is also a deeper brain structure involved in movement and behavior regulation, also works differently in some cases, which can contribute to impulsivity and hyperactivity. The brain overall maturation run lower. Imaging research shows the area responsible for self regulation and planning can mature several years later than typical, which have an impact directly on behavior and academic performance. And lastly, the brain emotional center can also be dysregulated, contributing to mood swings, frustration, and emotional instability.
So all what I said has nothing to do with intelligence, effort, or character. We spoke about five different things, which is to do with the brain chemistry, is to do with the brain structure, and it's also to do with the development and maturity of the brain, which means a certain area of the brain develops differently, or the maturity level of it will vary with ADHD kids, which means my child, your child, or also if you are a teenager, if you are an adult here today listening to this, you have, my kid has zero control. That does not excuse the behavior, but it explains the behavior. It makes us take a step back and reflect and understand why. And finally, I got the why for me. For me, it was a puzzle. I never completely understood ADHD until I studied the neuroscience behind it. It's a puzzle for me with missing pieces, and when I studied it, my puzzle being completed. And I felt I can continue now supporting my son in the best way I can. And we came to realize towards the end of this video that our children's brain has different wiring, different structure, and different timeline. And once we understand this, our daily struggle will not disappear, but will be reduced because we have answers. And lastly, it takes a village to raise a child, and understanding the ADHD neuroscience is the first step into this village. Thank you for being here.